I was linked this video by PopCorp, which apparently is a couple really cool videos by PopCorp here. So it's just really like kind of like concepts and ideas. So definitely check out PopCorp's video. We'll have a link in the description. We'll have, you know, all of that so you can check it out. So let's see what the video is. This one says track team abilities in Overwatch 2 concept. So let's see what this is.
Overwatch for a while now, and I kind of realized that it's missing one cool feature.
Okay.
The one that allows you to see the abilities and cooldowns of your teammates.
Ooh!
Now the idea came to me after playing live viewer for a couple of hours. You see, sometimes when you use his life grip ability, you can accidentally pull your teammate who is about to use a self-sustain ability, such as May Ice Block or Reaper Raid Bomb.
Yeah, that's cool.
It became frustrating to waste such a valuable ability for nothing. And there are some other heroes who can burn their abilities for essentially zero value. So I thought that having an option to peek into the abilities of your teammates would allow you to carefully decide how you want to approach using them. For example, let's say you're on Kiriko. Your Mei and Ana are both low HP.
Okay.
And you have to decide who gets your Suzu. In this case, your Mei has her Ice Block available. Meaning,
you wouldn't want to pull.
herself.
Yes.
So using a Suzu on her will be a waste. On the other hand, your Ana's healing nade is on a cooldown, meaning that she's your top priority.
Okay.
But we cannot see the abilities, so how do we fix that? Without asking our mute teammates, of course.
So just to pause very quickly, the idea here is actually kind of a cool concept. I don't know how you would necessarily put it into the game, but what I think is really cool about this, it definitely is true that it will give you more decision-making power. Another example of this that I can think of is, how often do you see like your Reaper going into the back line and you're like, you see your Reaper, they're critical on your screen, you're like, do I pull them? Do I not pull them? I don't know what to do. Do I pull them? What do I do? Right? So something that could be really cool is that if you're playing like Reaper, or they're playing Reaper and you're on a hero like Lifeweaver, for example, you know, okay, Reaper has shift, they're kind of playing all in, I can now save my cooldown for when their shift is done if they need it. So I actually kind of I think that's really, really cool of a concept. I think the idea is how would you make it be on the screen without a lot of information overload, but it's also why, like, if you ever hear my callouts in game, do you ever notice that I call out like every ability that's used? Because I always find that it's some hero can benefit from knowing what someone else doesn't have on their team. So it goes same ways here. Like if I say, hey, I don't have my bubbles, and you know what my bubble cooldown is, that's a pretty cool concept. You know, I let my teammates know if they've used shift, things that can help my teammates learn how to play around whatever it is, because I love when I know if they've used a cooldown. Like for example, somebody will see a Kiriko Suzu in front of them, not say a word, and then I'll be sitting there for 10 seconds trying to figure out if I can play around the Suzu. Now, I've kind of gone a little bit off track of what the video's talking about here because it's more for your abilities, but this is just a good way to say that it's good to let your teammates know if an ability's been used. Because like I will sometimes try to play around an ability and it's already been used and I end up wasting my time waiting for it. So anyway, let's continue on.
Well, if you ever played or watched Valorant, you are probably aware that they have the very same feature. By pressing one button, you're able to see all available information about the player.
I like that.
This has inspired me to make something similar for Overwatch.
Okay.
Showing similar properties such as hero abilities, including a resource meter for heroes that have such abilities, ultimate charge, player HP, current status effects like Sombra Hack, Zenyatta's Discord, Anti-Nade, and others. You should also be able to see the duration of their cooldowns, or if an ability is currently in use, like Ilyari's Pylon or...
I mean, I'm not against the idea, I just want to see how it would look in game.
Overhead window. Using this feature allows you to quickly inspect the current ultimate charge of...
My only concern is it wouldn't be this large, right?
Without the need of opening a scoreboard and blocking your screen. This in turn helps you...
That just seems too large though, right? I think there would have to be another way to be able to get this information without having this on your screen. But I like the idea. You think it's only when you press a button? So you're saying that you activate this as like a way to see their cooldowns. I wonder if you could like have the ability to like resize it. So like if you wanted it to be larger because you just enjoy having not being able to see anything, like so be it. But like maybe having that'd be kind of cool.
To focus more on the game and what's in front of you.
Yeah.
You should be able to view all this information from anywhere, be it through a wall or all the way from your spawn. Now let me show you a little example of this concept.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a good idea. Let's see an example. Okay. I do want to point out again, I like the idea of this. I think it's really cool. I think the implementation of it would just be a lot. Right? And I think it would have to be like you want to be able to toggle it. It would definitely have to be smaller. I like the idea. So the idea is really, really cool. It's just, it would have to be implemented a little bit of, like, I think it should be, if they were to do something like this, which once again, I actually love the idea and the concept, it would have to be just like a version that you can choose to have it on or off. It would have to have a UI scalable or like have a much smaller version. Or even like when you hit tab on the scoreboard, if you want to add that, since the scoreboard already has a bunch of information. But I like the idea. I think this is a cool idea and can help players understand a little bit more. I mean, it can help players understand not only their hero, but other heroes. Sometimes players like to tell you how to play your hero and they've never played the hero. So at least now they have more information than you do, right? You said you don't think they should add team features that encourage less team communication? It's already a problem with the game. Okay, well, the problem... Okay, so you're talking about how like it would heck up team communication. I'm going to be real with you, and it's something that I've also learned over the past, couple years, is everybody's voice chat experience is a lot different. So giving people the option to be able to enjoy the game without requiring to be in voice chat is also not a bad thing. It's something that, like, you have to take into account with this, that everybody has different experiences in voice chat. Sometimes players don't want to have to deal with that experience of voice chat, so giving players more information to still be able to bring you a lot of value is not a bad thing, I would say. Like, for example, the ping system's amazing. Yeah, I mean, and you're bringing that up too. Like, I love the ping system. That technically removes some of the communication that you would have to have, but the ping system, I can't even imagine Overwatch without the ping system now. I still think, like, it's good to have something like this in the future as, like, a quality of life change to the game. Like, I don't mind that idea. Anyway, let's go back. I like that. I like the idea. Just the sizing of it is a little bit.
Let's take the come on.
Yeah.
Immortality field deployed.
I had fun making this concept. And
Yeah.
while I don't think it's necessarily needed in the game, it could be a nice little quality of life addition.
I agree.
Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.
Heck yeah. Definitely a really cool concept. Like I said, this is one of those things where it's a cool concept. If they ever were to introduce something like this, it would have to be done in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. But I like the idea. I think this is a really cool concept, and if they can look, if someone at Blizzard was like, "Hey, I like this idea too, and let's start to work on some ways to like make it work," I wouldn't mind that. We're gonna actually continue on here to another video that we had, which is obviously by the same person, and it's I reworked Juno's ultimate to be more fun in Overwatch 2. So we're just gonna click that right away and then go to it. This one's a little bit longer, but yeah, same concept here. Make sure to check out the channel, which if I go here, you'll see is Pop Corp. We'll have all the information for both videos, so just wanted to point that out. Here we go. I reworked Juno's ultimate to be more fun in Overwatch 2. Let's see.
Overwatch's newest hero. And there is one thing I'm going to change about her.
Okay.
Her ultimate.
Ultimate's
I'm
really
going
strong.
To make it even better. And
Even
while
better?
I don't think that Juno needs
Oh,
any
no!
changes, I do want to explore a few options to make her ultimate more interactive and exciting to use. So take this concept as more of a fun experiment than a serious suggestion.
Fair enough.
But first, let's talk about Juno's ultimate ability, Orbital Ray. When you activate it, it spawns an energy ray at her current position. It travels forward at the speed of 2.25 meters per second, healing you and your allies inside of it for 100 HP per second.
Just to pause here very quickly is another part that wasn't added here. It also guarantees you win a team fight. It doesn't actually guarantee you win a team fight, but you can, I bet if they have the data, the amount of team fights that are one off of a Juno ultimate are ridiculous. Yeah, it's 85% HPS now. Obviously, it's a little bit outdated on the numbers, but the ultimate still works the same way. So this is a little bit before the nerf. It's 85.
And increasing their damage by 35%.
But everything else is the
The
same.
ultimate lasts for 10 seconds. Let's take Mei for a moment.
Okay.
The amplified damage from Juno's ultimate allows you to one-shot headshot 225 HP targets. While healing from the ultimate fully nullifies primary fire damage.
Keep in mind,
at
some of this
heroes.
is a little bit different now.
So, on paper it sounds like a solid ultimate, so why do I want to change it? Let me show you why exactly.
I love this. This is cool. Great editing, by the way. So, before we get into the concept here, my guess is that what's happened is it's saying that it's hard to get to the teammate. So one of the suggestions will be to spawn the ultimate on whoever you do it on. That was cool though, I like that.
Way too slow. In this scenario, Juno's primary healing is not enough to keep Reinhardt alive against the enemy team's damage. And the only option to sustain him in the fight will be to use Juno's ultimate.
Okay.
But as we just saw, she is just too far away from him, and the ultimate only spawns on the same location as Juno. You probably get what I'm trying to say here. Instead of having Orbital Ray spawning on the same location as Juno, how about we give Juno an option to choose where the Orbital Ray...
How did I guess that was gonna... I guessed that one too. I can see that coming. I knew right away what that was gonna be. I could just tell where that was going because of like the distance of where Juno was and like being able to do that. I will say this. I don't think this is about complaining about a strong support. It's more about making the ultimate fun is what I think is what it's supposed to do. It's like the idea is like giving more of like a tool to make the ultimate fun. Now, granted, you know, we have a little bit more data now on knowing how good Juno ultimate is. But I think it's like, you know, I think it's cool to see different concepts and ideas of stuff. I don't think this should be, personally, I don't think this should be something that is added. This part, at least.
Ray is going to spawn,
yeah,
giving you way more flexibility on how you can use it. Let me show you how it will work.
Sure, let's see.
Starting with her Orbital Ray's animation. Juno activates her ultimate by raising her left arm and swiping a holographic screen with her right hand. The Orbital Ray activates 0.5 seconds after pressing the ultimate button.
Okay.
Why is this relevant, you might say? Most Overwatch heroes have their ultimate on what I like to call press to activate, which means that the moment you press your ultimate button, the
Jamie, thanks
animation
for the tier 1,
plays,
thank you, appreciate it.
and the ultimate is immediately activated.
Okay.
But there are a few heroes that are given an option to put their ultimate on standby before activating them.
Yeah, so like Lifeweaver
which
tree.
allows you to pick a location where the ultimate is going to appear at. Such as Baptiste, Lifeweaver, and Symmetra. All require a confirmation for their ultimates to be activated. So in order for Juno to have an option to position her Orbital Ray, we have to change the way her
Great
ultimate is
editing, by the way.
activated,
This is excellent.
which means we'll be replacing her current sweat
Excellent video.
animation with a new standby animation. This is the current animation,
Okay.
and this is the standby animation, which I made in 3D. You can tell me how bad I am at making animations if you wish.
I think it's
With
the
her now
opposite, to
having
be
a
honest.
standby
This is
animation,
great.
We will now have to create a visual
is
indicator
awesome.
of where the ultimate is going to land. And I have two ideas for that. The first option would allow you to position it manually by aiming directly at an area where you want her ultimate to spawn. Taking Baptiste's ultimate as an example. It will also have a limited range of around 35 meters. If you know how Baptiste and Symmetra's ultimates work,
I do want to pause for a second because I think this is like a good discussion. I think that the reason why Juno Ultimate is as is because it's already such a strong ultimate. Like, it's such an unreal ult that giving it like even more, giving the Juno like so much more counterplay is it basically means the Juno will generally be unkillable most of the time. Yeah, the numbers are different, by the way. Keep in mind, this is a little bit older of a video, but it would still apply with 85 HPS and damage and healing and all that. Or 85 healing per second, and then it's still the same damage number. But, like, to me, I feel like the idea behind Juno Ultimate is to make Juno forced to be in the Ultimate as a decision, rather than, like, giving Juno the ability to do what, like, other heroes like Lifeweaver and Bap can do, because it's supposed to be, like, a trade-off. There needs to be some risk to the reward with Juno Ultimate, right? And right now, the risk-reward is if you use your Ultimate, you will be a part of your team for the most part, and you need to be involved in the team fight, and if at any point you heck up your Ultimate, like you put it in a bad location, you do it too early, that's your risk, right? So, I think it's and someone mentioned, like, speed ring, like, there's a lot there, so I feel like it wouldn't synergize as well anymore, and it would allow Juno to go from, like, S tier to, like, S++++ because of that. Once again, I also understand this is more just for fun, but I think that's where it would be, like, a difficult one.
and you probably know that they can also change the rotation of their ultimates. So just like Baptiste and Symmetra, you can choose the direction of your orbital ray. By clicking your ultimate button again, you can rotate it by 90 degrees. This could be useful in case
Okay, you know what? I will say, that is intriguing, though. That part I can see. I can see doing something like that, though. Like, it still spawns on you, but you can choose the direction. I don't see a problem necessarily with that, right? It allows for you to do more defensive styles. You know, if you want to, like, if they're going to dive you, you can peel backwards with the ultimate. Like, that might be kind of cool, right? You know, that's not a bad idea. I know you can choose the direction by turning around or going this way, left way. Like, you can do it. You can choose that way. I'm saying, imagine if they had an option where, like, you could just do it that way, right? I know that you can, wherever you look is where your ultimate goes. It goes through walls. I get that part. I'm saying, you know, maybe there's, like, you know how you have, like, a lot of heroes have, like, an advanced option you can check off, kind of like Hazard, right? Like Hazard, you can choose between, like, an activated wall immediately or like you have an option to, like, choose where your wall goes. Maybe you add, like, an arrow that chooses that, so, you know, it adds a little bit more of a fun idea. Obviously, you can just look in the direction you want to go, but I don't mind having an option, like, you can toggle where you want it to go off of, like, it's still going to spawn on you, right?
Guess you want your ultimate to be used more for retreating purposes.
Yep.
Or if you don't want it to go to the wrong direction that your teammate is facing.
Yeah.
You can also see which direction your ultimate is facing by looking at the ultimate icon.
Definitely subscribe to
This is
their
the
YouTube channel, by the way. It's a
default
really
icon.
good videos.
And
This is awesome.
the one Juno would have with her ultimate.
Okay.
The second option is similar to the first one, but instead it allows you to directly deploy the ultimate on a teammate. It will essentially work as Ana's nano boost.
I don't like
and a
this one.
UI icon.
I just don't. This would get rid of a lot of the risk of the
This
ultimate.
is the UI icon for the nano boost targets.
That one I don't like.
And this is the one
it
Juno
looks
would
cool.
see
I get
with
the
a visible
idea,
option
but
to turn her ultimate
No.
by 90 degrees. You can still cast your ultimate wherever you want, but it would automatically snap onto your teammate if they are in the
yeah, I don't
proximity
think
of
this
your
would make the
crosshair.
ultimate that's already OP even more OP.
This option can be placed into Juno's hero settings, alongside with a sensitivity setting for this.
By the way, this is what I meant, by the way. Like, you know how we were just talking about the opposite one of, like, imagine they add an option in here, like, you can choose the directional part of your ultimate, right? Just an option to have on there. I can see something like that, right? Where you don't have to turn around or something, which there is risk to that. You could say that also falls into my argument about the risk reward. But I can see something like that. I wouldn't want, like, you can spawn it on your teammate type of situation. I just don't think that would cause a lot of issues with that ultimate, and that would automatically make that ultimate essentially S tier. Like, that ultimate would be the best ult in the game, and it wouldn't even be close, right? Because even with Kiriko, there's a little bit of risk to how you have to do your ultimate. Like, yes, you send the Fox down, like, an area, but, like, if your teammates are really far away, the risk there is you have to teleport to your teammate and then pop the ultimate, right? So, what is the risk for Ana's Nano? That's a little bit different. I think that's... And I get what you're saying, by the way. It's a little bit less there. I think the best way to look at it with Ana is that it helps one individual hero. So there doesn't need to be as much risk to Ana's Nano, since it's only specifically designed for that hero, right? It would be an issue if, like, when you nano somebody and then it chain nanos, right? Like, if there's 4 people next to each other and then you nano, you know, a Rhine, and if, like, they're within 3 meters, it, like, chains to everybody. That would make it ridiculous, right? And then you also don't have speed ring and other things like that. You don't have the mobility. So Ana's more of like Ana falls kind of into a different category because it only benefits one person at the time. I think it's just because it benefits one, it's a little bit different.
It's ultimate. Just like Ana's Nano.
Yeah, Ana can't heal herself either with, or nano herself. She can heal herself without a grenade.
Visual changes of her ultimate.
Yeah.
The question is now, how will these changes affect Juno's gameplay?
We'll see.
Instead of staying close to her team when she has her ultimate available, she will be able to position herself further back and provide support.
Which truthfully would be terrible now, because I don't know if this was made during the fall off, but this would be even worse now.
Without the need of risking herself dying, but also allowing you to assist your team while being too far behind from the action, like coming back from the spawn and seeing your team engage in a team fight without you. These changes can also unlock new and interesting combos, like using Juno's ultimate on the flanking Genji, who can use his Dragon Blade with Juno as a substitute to Ana's Nano Boost. Oh, and you can also help that one Reinhardt who likes to charge into enemy team backline.
That's a skill issue at that point.
Hello!
Locking satellite vector!
Team kill.
Here's the full demonstration of how the new ultimate would look like in the game.
Okay.
Welcome to orbit!
I still don't. This part's interesting, by the way. I do want to point it out. Not this part. Not the ultimate being like castable on your teammates, but the directional one. It's kind of cool. There's a world where like I could see that being a thing with Juno, where you can like I know you have to look in the direction of the ultimate, but you know I think it could make the gameplay a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it. Like the gameplay loop would be a little bit cooler. And no, listen, I know you can just turn around. I'm just talking about like small quality of life changes. I know. We're not denying that you can just look in the direction. Doesn't it make it more complicated? This is why I'm saying you can add it as an option. That's what I was saying. Like Hazard has the different option for the walls. Yes. Yeah. Same thing. I wouldn't want it to be at range. I just don't think that would be good.
I've also had a second concept idea for Juno's ultimate,
okay.
But it didn't turn out that well.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would go well. No. Yeah, no, you're right.
I think I scrapped that idea.
Wait, you just drop a bunch of bastions on him?
Here's the list of all the changes to her ultimate.
Yo,
Juno is a
recently
great hero
started
and
playing
doesn't need any
Juno,
rework.
pretty fun character.
I agree with you on
This
that
video
one.
was
Thank you
about
for the
me
2 months,
exploring
Louis.
an
I appreciate
alternative
it.
concept to her ultimate. And I want to do similar concepts for other heroes. Let me know which hero you want to see next.
What hero do I want to see next? Okay, hear me out. I want to see... What about a better pulse bomb nowadays? Because Ayari has a better pulse bomb right now? I'm just saying.
Feel free to join my Discord server if you have any questions, want to suggest a concept, or just hang out. You can also become a channel member if you want to see some of the behind-the-scenes footage,
Heck yeah.
a special Discord role, or download some of the desktop and phone wallpapers that I make from time to time.
Cool, those look cool.
Thank you all for watching the video.
Absolutely, great video. That was awesome. Oh, that's a max ad. All right, anyway. That was an awesome video. Well, hey, I'll link everything in the chat here in a second. Great job. The videos by Popcorn here have been very well done. Just like very cool concepts. Like really good job. Seriously, these are awesome. So definitely, if you haven't subbed to Popcorp's YouTube, make sure to do so. I'll have all the links. We'll link it here in a second too. Great video. I love the concepts. Obviously, I wasn't on the same page as making the Juno Ultimate a little bit better. I wasn't on this just because I feel like Juno Ultimate's already good, but I did like the idea of the directional thing as like an option to add in there. So yeah, great video. That was awesome. Yeah, anyway, if you like these videos, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube, leave a comment. All of that helps. If you want to see more stuff like this, or you want us to react to more videos, where we have an option on Discord for reacting to videos. So if you have anything that you think we would like, put it in there. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this. Obviously, we record everything live on stream, so you can usually see the Twitch chat below the webcam. So stop by if you haven't. We'll stream on YouTube. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazing day/night.